Okay, so this week I'm so excited to get all this news or access coming from OpenAI. So for today's video, I will quickly walk you through an automation on Zapier where I use O1 Preview. So I've built up some part of the automation. What I want to showcase here is the model and how it works in Zapier, not the automation itself, but just to show you that this brings a whole new level of automation potential into Zapier. Or if Zapier is not your thing, definitely that brings a lot of potential to things like Make and even applications that you are building on your own. If you are new here, welcome to the community. Do not forget to support me by liking, subscribing, commenting, and even sharing the video if you think others will benefit. And without any further ado, let's jump right in.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel, The Mic.
So the example I built to showcase O1 Preview through an automation is basically assuming you're a business, you're looking for customers on LinkedIn, you want just to plug in a company name and get O1 Preview to do a deep dive on the details of that business, maybe identify potential pain points they have or problems they have that you can come in and solve. Just remember, O1 Preview is definitely more expensive than the use of other OpenAI models. Now, it goes for specific use cases where you need a chain of thought, some kind of logic sequence when you analyze a problem, content, a topic in general. So this is one example. I'm sure depending on your business or on your personal requirements, you're going to have so many things that come to your mind on how you can deploy such model towards the results you're looking for. So let's get started building the automation, putting some companies and see how it works. Okay, to start off with, I made it very simple. I created a simple Airtable with simply company and analysis. Basically, I want to have this Airtable in front of me. If I go to LinkedIn, I find a customer that is interesting. I just want to write the company name here and I want to get the analysis in this part here so I can read it later. Okay, so I will start by putting one name here, one company, so we can test the automation and see how it works. So let's go with Apple. So imagine you get that as a customer. That's always good news. So this is the automation. You're looking at it here. I just created the high-level structure. It's just 4 steps just to demo the capability of the model. Now it starts and triggered by a new record in that table I just showed you. So for example, once I put Apple there, it will get triggered. So let's test the trigger to capture the record with Apple in it. So I'll just hit find new records. And here we got record D, which is a new record. If you look at it, we can see here, if you can see it, the company is Apple. So this is the one we want to continue with as a record. Okay, and now we're ready to progress. Now this next step is just using an API from Rapid API. It doesn't need to be the way you do it. It's for me the way I wanted to do the demo. So basically I will go to a LinkedIn API and pull in the information about Apple from their page on LinkedIn. So I can use it at a later stage with O1 Preview as a model. So I will move through this one quickly. And by the way, I just published this week a video that automates finding a job on LinkedIn. And I go into the details of using these LinkedIn APIs on Rapid API. So if you want to learn more about those, you can watch that video, which I'll keep in a card at the end screens. Okay, so now we'll carry on. You can see this is a custom request here. And if we go to the configuration, the only thing I've done is got the URL for that API. And then, I added the dynamic field I got from the Airtable, which is Apple. So every time I punch in a company name, it will go and get me the details of that company. And I hit continue and then I can retest. So I have all details of Apple. If you don't see it, let me show it here. It's maybe not super visible, but basically everything on their page is captured into this response for the API call. And it's the basic things I need to somehow analyze the company. So now we have all that information about Apple. Now we can build our analysis step through a conversation with O1 Preview. So I'm not pretty sure about the timeline for O1 Preview, maybe to go to assistants so assistants can use it, or when it gets other features like the ability to retrieve data from documents and other things that already are available in other models. But for now, it accepts only text and it has a good window of context that you can feed the model and get analysis and responses from. So let's click here on ChatGPT. So let's go to the setup. It's just a conversation. This is the ChatGPT and then the account. So I created a specific API for Zapier for O1 Preview to keep using it every time when I use this model. Here you have the user message. I will not make it complex just for the demo. I'll basically give it a very simple prompt to analyze the company for me and tell me what are the potential areas where I can sell them a solution, a hypothetical solution I do as a business. Okay, I kept it pretty simple. So I said, analyze the below details of a potential customer and return an analysis of their business, potential gaps for me to sell them AI agents to help their teams in the day-to-day jobs they do. Give me a plan to establish connection, build rapport, and develop sponsors within that business, and an executive pitch and value proposition that would be effective with this specific business. And here basically I just put a placeholder, potential customer details, and what I will do here, I'll put the cursor here, I'll hit add, and I will go to this step and get the data details from here. So I'll plug them in here and then we can test it and go forward with this. Okay, so I've done it in a messy way. I've added all the data points that I got as a response from the Rapid API. I would do it in a much more organized manner in real life, but this is okay just to test the limits of the model. Just dump all that data on it and see how it will analyze it. But again, we will get the gist of it once we run this model. And by the way, unless you're a Plus user, you might not have access to O1 Preview. Even if you're a Plus user, I think they're releasing the access to the model in batches depending on the tier of your organization and the usage basically of your organization with OpenAI. So I've selected O1 Preview. I will not select anything else. And you can see all the extra fields here are dimmed because this is a model that is still in beta version when it comes at least as an API. So we hit continue. And then we can just hit test. So now it will do its magic and it will come to us with a response. And we have a response. So if we scroll down, we can see all the response details. And, you know, I think one of the things Zapier might have a challenge with dealing with O1 Preview is when they open up the ability to add documents and bigger context to this model, it will take a long time to process that information. And there's a limit in Zapier for the timeout of that response. So if it doesn't respond in 38 seconds, I guess, you'll get an error. I think this is something definitely Zapier are working on. I'm pretty sure because once they introduce the model as part of the ecosystem, they will understand that they will need to handle this differently for this specific model. So now we go to the last step where we need to update the record in Airtable. So we want to update that second column with the analysis and just dump in all the responses and analysis we got out of Apple, and we can look at it there and see how it looks. So I'll just go and continue with this. Okay, everything is selected. And now we can go to the analysis here, add a record or dynamic field, and we'll go to the conversation. And then we select the reply. So you can see here, there's this dynamic response, which is reply. This way, every time we put a company name, we'll get that response in the respective field on our table. And with this, we should be ready. Okay, I have to select the record. So I'll just make it custom field. And I will add the same record that was triggered. This is the record ID. Okay, so now we are ready. I'll hit continue and then I'll hit test, and it worked and it's ready to publish as a Zap. Actually, let's publish it. Okay, so now it's published, it's on, the automation is live. So we go here, let me refresh. Okay, without refreshing, it came. So if I double click, so we can see the analysis of Apple's business and potential gaps for AI agent implementation. So there's a business overview, there's the strengths of Apple, potential gaps and opportunities for AI agent integration, customer support enhancement, supply chain optimization, personalized marketing and customer insight. So you can see it's giving me ideas already. Cybersecurity, a plan to establish connection and build rapport within Apple, identify key stakeholders, leverage existing networks, engage through thought leadership. That's interesting. Speaking engagement, demonstrate expertise, partner with complementary vendors. So it's giving me also ideas there. Executive pitch and value proposition. So it's creating for me a pitch detailed for Apple as a business, how to pitch my value proposition and my business. And it has everything here. So it's really impressive. So this opens up a new potential out of automations just by having such, I would say, smart thinking model with a chain of thought. And that definitely, with all the tests I've done, and if you didn't see those, you can check out my channel, is like nothing I've ever seen personally out there when it comes to AI ability in reasoning and analyzing and breaking down things to pieces and then rolling that up into plans and analysis and strategies and whatever you're looking for. So I will just do one more test for this automation if you want to hang on. Otherwise, you're good to go. You have the automation. So I'll put one name here. So let's go with Google now and let's look at it working. In theory, now this will trigger the automation. It will go get me Google details. And once I get Google details, it will pull those, feed them to the model as we've done, and ask the model to analyze it and get a reply. Once that reply comes in, it will simply paste it again here. And this is the second company. So imagine now I can do this process at scale. I need to go to a customer, have a conversation with them. I'll just plug their name in. The automation will go, get their information from LinkedIn, and analyze it and tell me exactly how I need to go about dealing with that business. This is in its simplest form. And such an automation can be built to be really robust, getting lots of data points about their employees, about their posts. So I can get access to what they're posting about. And I can get, with a really matured prompt, something out of this world when it comes to how do I engage with these people. I know what they're talking about online. I know their interests. I know their values, their goals. Even I can have my automation access their website, maybe scrape it to tell me even more. So the potential is huge, but what changes everything here is having such an AI model empowering automations like this going forward. And here we have it. So now we have the response based on Google, the same like we had in Apple. So you have everything, the analysis, the breakdown, how to approach them, how to build connections with that company, and everything you need to start building your business and potentially going after that goal with laser focus. I hope you enjoyed this video. So there's a lot we can do with this model now that we have the API access into our applications, into automations using Zapier and other tools. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and do not forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you see value in it, and then put a comment about other questions you want me to answer around this model or around similar automations. And with that, thank you for watching and goodbye.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.